All right, today we are pulling back the curtain on something you interact with every single day, but probably never see: the hidden architecture that shapes our world. We're diving into the secrets of service design.
You know what I'm talking about, right? That coffee shop where the line just seems to glide along, or that website that's just a dream to use. And then there's the other side. We've all been stuck in those services that are just frustrating, confusing, and chaotic. So what's the difference? What's the secret sauce?
Well, here's the thing. That amazing experience, it's not magic. It's not luck. It's the result of a deliberate, painstakingly planned process, a kind of blueprint that's almost always invisible to us as customers. And today, we're going to make it visible. Okay, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll talk about this invisible design that's all around us. Then we're going to unpack a really simple framework that lets you categorize basically any service. From there, we'll get into the master plan itself, the service blueprint, and see how designers literally mistake-proof their work. And finally, we'll see how all of this stuff plays out in the real world, right now. Think about it. Every time you order a pizza, get on a plane, or even just get a haircut, you're taking part in this incredibly complex dance. And our journey today starts with a simple realization. These things don't just happen. They're designed, down to the smallest detail. So how in the world do you even begin to make sense of all the different services out there? Well, it turns out there's a tool for that. A really elegant way to map everything from an airline to an accountant on a single grid. And it all boils down to two really simple ideas. First, how much people power is involved? And second, how much does the customer get to interact with the service and customize it? Just keep those two factors in your head. And here it is. This is the service process matrix. Seriously, think of this as our map. On that vertical axis, you've got labor intensity from low to high. And across the horizontal, you've got customer interaction and customization. Every service you can imagine fits somewhere in here. Let's walk through it quadrant by quadrant. Okay, let's start in the bottom left in what's called the service factory. This is all about scale and efficiency. Think about airlines or trucking companies. The whole game is about processing a massive volume of people or things with as little variation as possible. So it's low on customization, but big on expensive equipment. The main challenge here? Keeping quality high while keeping those costs way down. Okay, now let's just move straight up the grid into mass service. We're still in the land of low customization, but now there are way more people involved. This is your typical retail store, your bank, or a big call center. The biggest headache for businesses here is managing this huge workforce and trying to make sure the service is consistent for every single customer. Now let's hop over to the bottom right quadrant, the service shop. This is where things start getting personal. Customization starts to really matter. Think of an auto repair shop. They aren't fixing just any car, they're fixing your specific problem. You still have a lot of specialized equipment, but fewer people are focused on your individual needs. The whole game shifts from just pumping out volume to solving unique problems. And that brings us to the top right, professional services. This is the high-touch zone, high customization, and high labor. This is where you find your doctors, lawyers, architects, and consultants. You're paying for expertise that is tailored just for you. So as you can see, from a factory-like operation to a one-on-one consultation, this matrix gives us a super powerful way to understand the DNA of the entire service world. Okay, so now we know how to categorize services. But how do you actually build one that doesn't fall apart? Well, for that, you need a master plan. You need what's called a service blueprint. So, what is a service blueprint? Well, at first, it just kind of looks like a normal flowchart. But it has a superpower. It draws a very, very clear line between what you, the customer, actually see and all of the chaos and hard work happening behind the scenes. Just look at this example for a hotel stay. It maps out the whole shebang. Up at the top, that's the customer's journey, what you actually do. Right below that, you see the onstage stuff, the actions of the staff you interact with, like the person at the front desk. But the real magic, the secret, happens when we cross this dotted line right here. And the source material really hits the nail on the head here. The whole point, the unique feature of the blueprint, is separating what's visible to the customer from what isn't. This simple line has a really important name. It's called the line of visibility. Everything above it is what we call the front office, or onstage. Everything below it is the back office, or backstage. So why does this matter so much? Think of it like a theater. The front office, the stage, is designed for the audience experience. You want it to feel personal, but the back office, backstage, is all about ruthless efficiency. By drawing that line and separating them, a company can perfect both at the same time. You get a fantastic customer experience up front, and it's all supported by this hyper-efficient machine behind the curtain. Now, a great service blueprint doesn't just show you the path. It also shines a big, bright light on all the places where things could go wrong. And the next step in brilliant design is getting rid of those problems before they can even happen. And for this, designers turn to a genius concept from Japan called Poka-Yoke. It literally translates to mistake-proofing. And the core idea is simple. You don't train people to stop making mistakes, no. You design the process so that the mistake becomes physically impossible to make. And this has to be one of the best examples of Poka-Yoke ever. This French fry scoop is not just a scoop, it's a piece of design genius. It is physically engineered to pick up and hold exactly one perfect serving of fries. You literally can't put too many in, and you can't put too few. The mistake has been designed right out of the system. It's simple, it's brilliant, and it's totally foolproof. So, let's bring all this home. How do these big ideas, the matrix, the blueprints, the mistake-proofing, show up in the services that you and I use every single day in our crazy digital world? I mean, think about the last thing you bought online, that little buy now button. That's just the final on-stage moment of a massive, sprawling service blueprint. The second you click it, you trigger this huge backstage symphony. Inventory systems talk to each other, robots might go grab your item, it gets packed, labeled, and shipped out. All of that is the invisible design that makes something like 2-day shipping even possible. And what's really fascinating now is seeing how companies are completely blurring the lines between what's a product and what's a service. Take the Chinese electric car maker, NIO. They'll sell you the car, sure, but they offer the most expensive part, the battery, as a service. So instead of paying 10 grand for it up front, you pay a monthly fee. This is a total game changer because it lets them slash the sticker price of the car so it can compete head-to-head with regular gas cars. It's just a brilliant, brilliant piece of service design. So from now on, whether you're at the airport, on a website, or just ordering a coffee, you're going to see it. You'll see what's really going on behind the counter. You're not just a customer anymore. You're standing on that line of visibility. You can see the blueprint. So the only question left is, now that you've seen it, can you ever unsee it?